Kid Citizen is a really collaborative project, and it actually came about with a teacher approaching me with a project she wanted to do and link with the community and get out to show career pathways and such. And eventually I realized that I was like, well, we have some other resources here. Why not collaborate with the community radio station? So Radio Communautaire Missisquoi 99.1 CIDI is our partner on this, our main partner, and we broadcast our work, our umbrella series, our episodes on their radio station.
Conserving history throughout the generations is the title of the project.
It's a community project where we're getting our grade 11 ethics classes together, paired up with local senior citizens to share knowledge and stories about the community and their life experiences while living in the Chateauguay Valley.
Our proposition was to bring an aromatic garden into our schoolyard, as well as an outdoor classroom.
Everything about this project is meant to be student-generated and student-led, so they're there at the grassroots and engaged with it. It's their project. So I told them, not to scare them, but I'm like, we're putting out a professional product here, and if it's not, then we're going to retake or it's not going to air. So to be accountable for their work and take pride in what they were putting out.
Students that sometimes struggle at school or don't necessarily do well academically seem to shine. So I'm crying again.
There was one gentleman that always kind of sticks with me, because in the classroom he was just kind of like, the typical, do we have to do this kind of thing, and very, very kind of negative about it all. And he got up, and surprisingly to me, when he came out and he met with his community partner, it was like a 360. And I was in shock. He sat down, he introduced himself, he shook their hand, he started talking with them, he was asking them questions.
It's one thing interacting between friends, between students, you have your own language. But once you pull in somebody that's not necessarily familiar with how teenagers talk, it's really different. And it's great because these kids come in, they sit down with the seniors, and you see them change automatically. All of a sudden, they're more polite, their gestures are completely different.
This is a whole better experience than working in a classroom, mostly because you could learn the same things in a classroom looking at a smartboard, but they wouldn't stick with you. This is a way better experience to learn from elders rather than reading something in a book or a diary or a biography. I think actually talking to the people is much more helpful and insightful.
The students that are always the keeners are extra keen, but the ones that typically take a lot of effort to get the buy-in have been easily bought in.
It has helped me along with my English and my French, because there's French songs and I learn new words in French and English. It's like a tool that helps you get brave when you know how to use the words and properly.
I find sitting in the classroom on your chair for a whole day really boring. But with Jeremy, since we do so many things that we can't get bored, we keep jumping from one thing to the next, but we cover it all. And when we go outside, we're outside, we play around, but we're still learning.
Meaningful learning happens when kids are proactive, their hands are getting dirty, and they're seeing the results from beginning to end.
I never thought I'd do this. It was fun for me, and I hope I can do it again.
We got to see what it's like and how easy we have it now, I guess, because it seemed a lot tougher back then, and seems like there's a lot of change that changed.
This experience will also help me plan gardens at home and just planning things in general.
I think it's so important to realize that there are experts out there. And when we open up our schools to experts, students learn exponentially quicker than if someone who sort of knows about it is teaching them.
Some people don't go at the same rhythm, and statistically only 1/3 people are visual, the other people are kinesthetic, they need to touch, and the other ones need to hear. Some are balanced, so if we only focus on one type of need, we won't have a global educational system. We need different point of views, we need different aspects, really, to give a full education, you know.
Teachers, we would really like to work a lot with you. The nonprofits are there, they want to work with you. There is funding for the different projects. We want to complement what you're already doing, what you're already teaching, and we want to help you to bring it alive in the community.
To me, I think it's an invaluable experience. I'm gonna start crying again. Just to see the faces when the kids, when they came out of the recording, they were like, yes, I did it. And they were just so excited, and it's just a wonderful feeling to see your students so confident and so happy and so successful. I mean, that can't be wrong. So, yeah, sorry, just crying again.
Something you can walk away with, that it's a lot of fun. And for high school students to be able to say that they've been part of something published is something that for their toolbox, or their future, they can add to it. So there's a big prize at the end that most of them can see that will help them out and help everyone out.
You know, there's a real excitement with this group. They're always excited to know what their recipe is going to be the next week. There was one time that I had to have just a very short session, and they wanted to make sure that we were going to come back. And I had said to the girls, I said, I'm really sorry we can only do so many sessions because we didn't get funding this time, and we're just kind of using the funding that we had before. And they had offered to do a bake sale to raise money so we could buy ingredients to do more recipes. That's how excited they are, and that just really made me feel good.
I know from seeing in schools how there's always this aspect of bullying, and people aren't friends in class or in the schoolyard and everything. And this is bringing classes of girls together that normally would never probably talk to each other during the day, and they become friends.
It's a project that everyone should do because it's come from the kids, so they've kind of been the ones to have the idea, and then we just run with it.
And it has ended up being an absolutely wonderful experience and a very worthwhile project.
I've had teachers tell me as well that they see a change in their students when they do something like this. So, and a positive change. And it's thinking outside the box. It's a different way of learning.
You know how old the interviewers are, and you know how, and you do see how old they are, but when you actually take the time to talk to them, you don't feel like they're old. They actually feel a little younger than they actually are.
Some of my friends and family thought it was super cool that I was singing on the radio and other people could hear me.
We would like to do this more often, not just me, but whole class. It's seen, like you can see it through their eyes that they want to continue doing projects like this because it gets us out of the class and we learn something different.
I would really want more projects where you actually experience it rather than just look at it and read it, because it'll stick better if you actually do something rather than if you're just told something.
I think it's really important to inspire kids, and the way to make inspiration happen is to bring in someone who is passionate about what they're doing. That's our goal.